Jerritt Canyon has recently been overhauled. This was a 2.5-year huge effort to spend the sustaining capital in upgrading and overhauling the mill because it hadn't been done for many years. And so the company has recently spent well over $200 million in this 2.5 years, overhauling, replacing, getting into environmental compliance and doing all the things that are necessary to make this a sustainable facility for the next 20 odd years. The program has taken a lot of time, and the different elements of the program are putting in a new ore dryer, putting in new elevators and conveyors, replacing the quench tanks inside the mill, which are very, very important to a roaster, and the effort that's gone into reopening the underground mines and making them safe and productive, re-energising and starting the exploration effort, both underground and surface, for open pit resources, and to put a new tailings facility in place which is double-lined and fully compliant with the regulations, where the old one was not lined, and it will progressively be closed down. One of the key complaints that the regulators had was air emissions from the roaster. The ore in Nevada, and in fact many places in the world, contains mercury. Mercury, of course, is a carcinogenic nightmare for the whole world. Once it goes up in a stacked gas to the atmosphere, it can go just about anywhere the winds carry it. It goes onto the land, it contaminates crops, goes onto the ocean and rivers, contaminates the fish life, and of course we eat from the rivers, the oceans and the land base. So a new technology had to be developed to address that issue, and it was developed within the company. One of the company employees put his mind to work and developed that. He patented that, and that's been installed at Jerritt Canyon now for quite a while, since October 2009. It has been fully tested by the regulators, and it now has become the standard set by the EPA for North America. Just to put some numbers around that, the new official standard set by the EPA is 120 pounds of mercury a year per million tonnes of ore. Jerritt Canyon currently emits 3 pounds of mercury, not 120 pounds, which is the standard, which is well under what's allowable. So you can see easily why we've become the leader in that field. And we're pretty excited and proud to be able to do that and set a milestone for the industry and for every other facility in North America. Regarding our production, we have overhauled this facility, and we've said to the market our first run rate target is 150,000 ounces a year, and of course if we achieve that, we then would be in positive cash flow. At the moment, we finished the upgrade in January, at the end of January 2012. We are now well into commissioning. As in all commissioning jobs, you find a few issues and problems. We have to do or undertake some engineering changes and things like that, which are not quite complete, but we expect to complete those in the not too distant future, and we are very, very confident that we will be able to hit those run rates. So it's not quite complete yet. The main job is complete. The plant is winterized. We can operate without shutdown in the winter, which has not been the case in the past. And we are now waiting for the winter to subside and the snow to melt so that we can go and finish the tailings dam, which has been a big upgrade. I think the actual standalone cost of that part of the project is about $45 million. The dams and the water containment ponds are completed. They're constructed. And one of them is lined. The others are not completely lined yet, simply because the winter beat us. So once that snow melts, we can then move in, compact those properly, and finish the job. So that would then last the company another 10 to 12 years without doing any lift or improvement or upgrade of those facilities, but we can use those for probably another 20 years. So that's a big, big plus to extend the life of the facility. The next thing that is important is, of course, looking at the resources which will allow you to sustainably produce from that facility. And we have put a fairly big effort into restarting the exploration program, both for underground and surface. The surface is important because you get much cheaper production if you can do surface operations as opposed to underground. And we expect to put out a new 43101 in the near future, certainly in the March to June quarter. And I think the market would be reasonably pleased with what that result is. We expect it to be or result in a significant increase in reserves and an increase in overall resources. So I think the market will like that. The facility, now that it's been overhauled, will have the ounces to feed the plant and produce, starting with 150,000 ounces, and then we have plans to increase that above that. It'll go to the next step is 200,000 ounces. And everyone has to keep in mind that this facility for about 23 or 24 years produced 300,000 ounces a year every year for those years. And we can see no reason at all why that can't be continued once it's all overhauled.